Hey guys, welcome back to the All Sports Pass and welcome back to another video. And the wait is finally over. We are on week one of the football season and of the high school football season. Friday Night Lights are finally back. And I have to say, I cannot wait to get into this video. Third season covering it, and we just want to say thank you to everyone who's been tuned in since day one. Y'all, this means the world to us all here at All Sports Pass. Thank you all for your continued support, and yeah. Before we get in this video, you already know we gotta start with the verse of the day. And today's verse comes from Romans 8:18, and it says, "I consider that our present sufferings are not worth comparing with the glory that will be revealed in us." And before we get in this video, leave a like, subscribe for more high school football content. Without further ado, let's begin. So week one has, of course, like I said, shown up, but we also have some new team. We also have a new team that we added to ASP. With that being the Sevier County Smoky Bears, defending 5A state champions, and we just got a lot to talk about. So yeah, but first match we're going to talk about is the Gibbs Eagles. And this segment is presented by PJ's Barbershop and Sierra Lynn Photography. Thank you both for your continued support of ASP, and and it also stay tuned for the advertising segment at the end of the near the end of the video. And then another thing we're going to do is, we have Connor, the guy, one of our new guys. He's going to be giving us the weather reports for the games. So stay tuned for that. Because of course, I think, if y'all have been down in Tennessee, dang well that the weather can be unpredictable. So yeah. But first team we're going to talk about is the Gibbs Eagles and the Union County Patriots. First matchup. And for this matchup, it's a bit interesting because not only is it not only is it now the third straight season these teams have met, it's a rivalry, and Gibbs has and now they're both in the same region, and we're going to talk a little bit about this region actually. It's going to be a little more tougher this season for both teams, for everyone in this region, as three new teams have been added. Union County from 3A, Heritage Mountaineers dropped from 5A to 4A, and then the 10-time defending state champion in 3A, Alcoa Tornadoes, have jumped up to 4A. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what this region does and everything. And I think for Gibbs, like Gibbs' philosophy is for this season is to just play Gibbs football, and if they play Gibbs football, they'll be okay. And I think that it'll be interesting to see like what Gibbs can do this season. Of course, once we get into the later weeks of this season, as Gibbs has had a 10-2 season last season, but now to replicate that success, they're going to have the new guys step up. As they got a new quarterback, and his name's Keith Jones, and he's a sophomore, but but he's really good at the position, and I think we're going to see what Keith can do. And they also got like a bunch more players up here, so I do think Gibbs. It will be interesting to see what they can do this season, and there is also a bit of a struggle here. I'm sorry, not a struggle. Sorry, as I'm getting ahead of myself. But however, Chase Norman is not going to be playing in the Union County game as he suffered an injury. But however, it does seem like he will be back in time for next week. And yeah, so of course, what better way to show off your new guys than in a good old-fashioned rivalry against Union County? So that's what I'm going to say about Gibbs, and it'll be right to see how they perform in week one. So yeah. All right, next game we're talking about is Dobbins Bennett at Central. And for Central, last two times they made the playoffs, they were first round exits to Sevier County. And I actually went to their to the Jamboree at Central on Thursday. And speaking of, I was getting ahead of myself. Central is presented by Blended Clothing. Um, and if you all want to learn more about it, I'll stay tuned for the advertising segment. Um, but Central, of course, in my opinion, like they haven't been the same Central team that I've seen like from years past. Like they seem to be struggling a little bit, but however, I did notice that in their jamboree they did seem to be getting better, and I honestly can't wait to see how this team does. Um, and now like Gibbs, Central is their region's been expanded a bit. They got some new teams coming in. They got Powell, Campbell. I'm sorry, not Powell. Clinton, Campbell County, Carnes, and yeah, so and William Blunt. So it's not just going to be a five-team region anymore. Central's going to have to work hard to make sure they're part of the four to go to the playoffs. And what better way to do it than a 6A team than playing a 6A team in your first game of the season, Dobbins Bennett. It'll be our see as as for those who don't know, like I've heard before that the speed of 6A games are way different compared to 4A. I'm sorry, to 5A games, and for Central, if they can, I think if they can get this win, it'll give them some momentum on the season and everything. Now, this is a non-region game, but what better way to start off your season with a good win over a Dobbins Bennett team that's pretty strong. So yeah. All right, the next game we got is Fulton at Macon County. Fulton's also another one of those teams. Fulton, of course, under Coach Long, they've been back to took them to a winning record last season. Got 6 wins and went to the first round of the playoffs where they nearly upset Elizabethton at Elizabethton. And Elizabethton, I will say this, I'm sorry, not Elizabethton. Fulton, I will say this, is that they were also able to hang with Anderson County last season. So it'll be interesting to see what the Falcons can do in this matchup because Macon County is the defending 4A state champion. And what better way to prove yourself this season than to have a game against Macon County. Now they're both in 4A, but this is a non-region game. So really, Fulton in this game, like they can learn like what they need to do to get back to state championship contention. And I think that if Fulton can do everything right, I could see them hanging with Macon County. So yeah, and it'll be our see what happens this week and everything. But yeah, so that's all I got for Fulton. But there's also another thing here is that on the pamphlet, the Knoxville Area High School kickoff on the preseason All Stars list got athlete Rajon Womble for Fulton. I'm sorry if I said your name wrong. And he is and I actually saw him play the other day, and he could throw and do a bunch of stuff. But however, I do think that Fulton can be a bit of an underdog. So that's what I think this season. So yeah. Next game we got is Carter at Northview, and the Carter segment is presented by Bigs Only. They're an outdoor clothing brand, which by Bigs Only. So sorry, let's rewind. Play Carter at Northview, presented by Bigs Only. For Carter this season, last season they went 4-7, first round exit to Greenville. But I do think that Carter. I did talk to Coach Helton, and he said that the thing about this season is that it's going to be harder now in this region as you got Anderson County. I'm sorry, you got Alcoa, Heritage, Anderson County, Gibbs, Fulton, South Dole, and other teams in this region. He said they're going to have to come in every game and play their hardest, and that's what they're going to have to do. So for Carter and Northview, like this is the third meeting between these teams. Northview upset Carter last season, but I do think that Carter could win this game, but I do think that they're going to have to come in, play tough, and get down the field, in order to win this game. And we also on their kickoff all-star, they also had Joseph Armenta, running back and linebacker for Carter. All right, next one we got is Farragut at Sevier County. And if you notice the asterisk there, this game will be played at Carson Newman. And Sevier County, of course, everyone knows how it went last season. Sevier County is the defending 5A state champions. So that's the thing about it. And it'll be interesting to see what Sevier County can do in everything. So I do believe that that of course, we also take a look at Farragut. They only won 4 games last season, made the first round of playoffs where they lost 42-24 to Dobbins Bennett. But they were able to keep up with Maryville. They were okay with Maryville. And so it'll be interesting to see what they do. Now, of course, second season for coach Eddie Courtney take on the pedestal. So let's see what Farragut does. But what better way for Farragut to prove themselves than to see if they can get a win at a neutral site against the defending 5A state champions. For Sevier County, I think it'll be interesting to see what they can do because, Sevier County, they're state champions. They want to do everything they can to go back to back. And, you're going to play Farragut week 1 at a neutral site. Let's see what you can do. So, yeah. And, all right, game of the week is Anderson County at Powell. And those who have been with me last season know that I chose this game last season, and it did not disappoint. Now, of course, you do have Anderson County losing a bunch of seniors from last year's team. But, however, Powell, I think, is and it's going to be interesting to see what Powell can do. And on the kickoff, 2025 preseason All-Stars, they got Iverson Garcia, D-line for Powell. You also got their quarterback, who is, hold on, I'm on the wrong page, Deuce Rogers. You got a bunch of seniors on this team, seniors and juniors on this team that are pretty, good at, that have the experience. But, however, the thing about it is, can Powell get revenge for that loss on Anderson County last season? It'll be interesting. So let's I can't wait to see what happens. And also, Connor is going to be at this game. So if you see interviews and clips from that game, just know that that was not me. That was Connor. So hey, I gotta give my host credit because these guys, they work hard and everything. So just so you know, ASP, and also I'm sorry I didn't put this earlier, but ASP is a team, and we work together as a team. So we all deserve all the credit. I'm sorry. Let's say that back real quick. Like we all do our part, and we do this not only to help people, but we do it because we love it and we love to help our communities. So yeah. With that being said, let's go commercial, and then Connor will give you the weather. So with all that being said, that does it for me. Peace out. God bless, and have a good day or night. We want to take a moment to recognize our sponsors. First sponsor we're going to recognize is PJ's Barbershop. They are a barbershop located at 3544 Neal Drive, Suite 101, Knoxville, Tennessee 37918. They do walk-ins and appointments. Call or text Pam at 865-548-0749 or call or text Jackie at 865-243-5291 to schedule an appointment. Thank you for your continued support of ASP. Next sponsor we want to thank is Sierra Lynn Photography. You can DM Sierra at Sierra34_343 or SierraLynn.photos on Instagram to schedule a session. Thank you for your continued support. We also want to say thank you to Bigs Only for your continued support. Bigs Only is an outdoor clothing brand, and you can find them at the link that is on the top left of your screen. Go check them out. Thank you, Bigs Only, for your continued support. And then we also want to thank Blended by Justice. It's a small clothing brand, and they do a lot of cool stuff. Take a look. Go check them out. You can find the link is on the screen. And yeah, thank you so much for making ASP possible.
Welcome to the weather segment. I'm Connor Hahn. And so for Friday, for game day, it seems like it might be a mildly active day weather-wise due to a high pressure system that's moving through the area, coming in from the north. Throughout Knox, Union, and Jefferson counties, and in Kodak on Friday, slight chance of showers and thunderstorms are expected, chances capping at about 30% as of recording. The rain is expected to move out, however, by around 2 to 3 p.m., with potential for small pop-up showers afterwards. In Macon County, it will be sunny, but be cautious for the chance of an afternoon pop-up shower too. Temperature-wise, in Knox County, there will be a high of 89 degrees and a low of 70 degrees. For Union County, the high will also be at 89, with the low being slightly lower at 69. Kodak will have a high at 88 degrees and low at 70 degrees, and neighboring Jefferson County will be slightly cooler with a high of 87 degrees and low of 69. Heading up north to Macon County, the high will be 87 degrees and low of 65 degrees. For all across the state, no matter what game you're going to, I would advise bringing some water to the games just due to the fact that the temperatures may be high. Now, looking at our weather model, about 11 or so, you can see down here there's going to be some rain forming. And those showers will probably be impacting us till about. Sorry, one second. Just had to refresh it to load. It did a weird thing. But, anyways. And they'll be staying about the same as the high pressure system moves through, coming down from the Great Lakes towards the Atlantic. And if you can see that it seemingly is going to rain around the same about 5 p.m. with this little weather ridge right here. And by about 8 or so, storm's mostly going to be gone, with maybe some more forming up north of Knox County.